Have you ever felt like something was holding you back from growing personally? Something growing, the way you were growing personally, the way you were growing in your career, something holding you back and you just can't figure out exactly what it is. That's where the empowerment journey starts. And that's where we start to dig in to figure out, okay, how do we get to the next level of what that success rate actually looks like? That's what I've been trying to figure out for like the last 10 years. What was truly holding me back from allowing me to reach my fullest potential? I couldn't figure it out. The breakthrough moment in my life where I felt like I was in control for the first time over my own life, my own decisions, that's where I felt a complete breakthrough moment. And that's when I really started to dig deep and figure out how I can help other people, how I can empower other people, how can I allow people to really pull out that confidence and pour it back in so hard that you just become unstoppable. Like, I know you have more inside and you're craving more. You just want more. There's something that's burning but something is stopping you from getting to that next level. Once you figure out exactly what that is, it's a life-changing moment. She realized something was missing. She realized she was exhausted. She reframed her mindset, took small daily actions, and ultimately empowered herself to live a balanced, fulfilling life. I'm going to take you through personal growth stages, and I'm going to read something off that I created, and I'm going to walk you through each and every step in the personal stages growth. I am going to walk you through the empowerment funnel, and this is going to help you really go through your personal stages journey to figure out exactly where you are and where you are stuck. So I am going to read something to you that's going to help you change your life. And I'm telling you, when you figure out exactly what stage you are in, you're going to become unstoppable. I promise you. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so let's talk about the overall empowerment funnel and the personal growth stages. This is going to help you move forward in your life so that you can become the best version of yourself after recognizing each stage. So the very, very first stage is called the awareness stage. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. So let's start off by starting off with, I made this fictitious person and her name is Sarah. So let's talk about how Sarah is actually feeling as she enters into the awareness stage. She is feeling constantly exhausted and she's unfulfilled in her life, right? She's juggling work, she's juggling family, she's juggling her own personal expectations. She's not even sure what to do next, right? So this is where she's at in that very first stage. She realizes she is saying yes to everyone. Sound familiar? I bet it does, right? Okay. But here is the reflection. She is starting to notice that she is overwhelmed because she doesn't prioritize her own needs, right? Does that sound familiar? All too familiar, I bet, right? So here is a few things that she has done within the personal growth stage. She has identified how she is feeling off, where exactly she is feeling off within this stage. She has recognized areas that actually need to change. She has recognized areas that she actually needs to change, and she's actually noticed these particular moments in her life. Okay, so now that she is beyond the awareness stage, she's going to go into the next stage. So we're going to talk about this. But this is where someone in the personal growth journey has not moved on beyond the awareness stage. And this is what stops them from moving forward. She completely ignores the signs of burnout. So she continues to do the same thing over and over and over. The repetitiveness she's constantly doing, she recognizes it, but she's just going through the flow. She's just going with the flow, right? So she consistently works through that burnout, right? But she continues to avoid any type of self-reflection. After you moved forward from the awareness stage, you start working on the next stage, and that's called the mindset shifts. This is where a lot of people get stuck for a really long time. Okay, so this is where Sarah is in this mindset shift stage, and she's thinking that she is never going to be able to make the extra time for herself. She's thinking of it as an excuse, right? She thinks it's selfish. That's something that she's thinking internally, that she doesn't have time to take the extra 10 minutes because she thinks it's selfish, right? Because she has all these other duties that are home, like dishes are piling up, stuff needs to go in the dishwasher, tons of loads of laundry, but she's thinking in that very instance that, it's selfish. It's selfish if she left those piles of things to do, right? Okay. So here's what she says. When she starts to take care of herself, she will show up better for everyone else. Does that sound familiar? I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times. So we hear this so many times where our mindset starts to shift and we start to recognize that we need to take that time in order to figure out the whole big picture, right? People say it all the time and we're like, no, we got way too much going on, right? Okay, so the reminder here is, I'm sure you can guess, self-care is not selfish, right? We know that. We know that for sure. It is necessary to continue developing personal growth and empower the best version of yourself by taking those small action steps, right? So here's what she says, which I'm going to reiterate. When she starts to take care of myself, I show up better for others. So if you have that mentality that you show up better for other people, things will start to change. So how many times have you gone outside for a walk and you come back with a ton of energy, you feel refreshed, you might feel slightly tired from the walk, but that's okay, right? But I guarantee you will feel way better from before you left before, right? Okay, so the next step in the personal growth stage after the awareness stage and the mindset shift stage is the action stage. So we're going to dive into that next. All right, so now we are in the action stage. So here's where Sarah is feeling. She decides to start scheduling the 15 minutes each morning by journaling, by drinking coffee alone, right? Coffee or tea. If you're a tea drinker, that's totally fine too, right? She also started to say no. She started to say no to things that don't align with her priorities. She's starting to recognize all of these things. But notice here, these are small steps in becoming the best version, and they're small steps to starting to become the more empowered version of yourself. Let that sink in real quick, right? Imagine doing this 4 days a week. What would a year look like from now? Journaling alone allows you to declutter your brain. It allows you to pour everything you have inside out. The reason why I know this is because Sarah is me. This is my journey that I have taken to learn how to work through the various stages of my life to give myself that empowerment back and to take control over my life. I'm going to keep going. All right. So the decluttering of your brain allows you to take control over what's going on around you. It allows you to reflect on the things that are going on around you, how you are feeling, and more importantly, it's allowing you to rediscover who you are as a person. It allows you to move forward past any failures that are holding you back in your life. It allows you to accept it and move forward. Small changes lead to more control over you. Small changes lead to more control over your life, your actions that are outside of your own control, that you didn't have time for before, which means you become less drained in your life. But here's the catch. I'm going back to Sarah. If she doesn't want to move forward outside of the action stage, and this happens, she starts to overcommit, which means she's going to quit, right? She's going to quit so quickly, and she hasn't even started. I know, because I've been there. I know if I can just change one person, I guarantee you're going to be the best version of yourself. You are going to be unstoppable. I promise you, just take these small steps to move forward, to take back your own life, take back the control you deserve. All right, I'm going to give you another example. So this is where people who set New Year's resolutions, they set, let's lose 20 pounds in the first month. Often, right? Let's say New Year's Eve, people want to lose 20 pounds in a month. Chances are they're going to quit real quick, right? They often fail because they haven't even made it to the gym for an hour, 5 days a week. Or they haven't even decided to take a 10-minute walk outside every single day, right? So is that goal realistic? Is the goal of losing 20 pounds in 1 month realistic to someone who hasn't even stepped foot in the gym, who hasn't even taken the 10-minute walk outside every day? Is it possible to lose 20 pounds in a month? So the question becomes, is your goal, is it realistic or is it reasonable? Those are the two questions you have to ask when you're setting yourself up for these types of goals that you have listed, right? So this is where small, consistent strategies work every single time. So guess what? It isn't when motivation strikes either. So that's the other piece that a lot of people are missing. So a lot of people, I'm going to give you the weight loss example. They may have hit rock bottom. Maybe they had a doctor's visit and something went terribly wrong and they thought that, something bad was going to happen or what have you. Even when that motivation is there and that desire, like you really want it to be there, your mind is set, I'm going to lose those 20 pounds in 1 month. No one's going to stop me. Sometimes it happens. I'm not going to lie. Like, yeah, people can do it. But the key is if you don't set small, realistic, attainable goals, the likelihood is going to be hard. So the question becomes, is your goal, is it realistic or is it reasonable? Those are the two questions you have to ask when you're setting yourself up for these types of goals that you have listed, right? So this is where small, consistent strategies work every single time. So guess what? It isn't when motivation strikes either. So that's the other piece that a lot of people are missing. So a lot of people, I'm I'm going to give you the weight loss example. You know, they may have hit rock bottom. Maybe they had a doctor's visit and something went terribly wrong and they thought that, you know, something bad was going to happen or what have you. Even when that motivation is there and that desire, like you really want it to be there, your mind is set. I'm going to lose those 20 pounds in 1 month. No one's going to stop me. You know, sometimes it happens. I'm not going to lie. Like, yeah, people can do it. But the key is if you don't set small, realistic, attainable goals, the likelihood is going to be hard. All right, so guess what? It isn't when motivation strikes either. Have you ever hit rock bottom and you're like, this is it. This is a moment I will change my life overnight? Chances are it's not going to happen because you decided to skip through the awareness, the mindset shifts, and you stopped excelling in the action stage. This is where things go wrong. So start making small steps and stay consistent. But the key is to set attainable goals. Track your progress, celebrate small wins, any wins, and let's move to the final stage. Okay, so now we're going to get into the very, very final stage. So you're in the empowerment stage, the very, very last stage. And have you ever felt anxious, afraid to speak up in meetings or sharing ideas? You feel stuck in your current routine, kind of like doing the same thing over and over and over. Some people love this, but most of us need a change, right? Sarah, for example, loves the same routine because she can do it, but it no longer fulfills her. That's the difference. It pays the bills, but she is craving more. She is even feeling reluctant in meetings, even though she has a ton of ideas. So here is where the empowerment stage will set you free. You're prepared now. You're no longer anxious. This is the most incredible feeling in the world. Once you get over that hurdle, that breakthrough moment in your life, this is where you become unstoppable, unrecognizable. And people like that are going to be like, who dat? Who dat? Right? Where did she come from? That's what's going to happen. But let's talk about how you stay stuck in the empowerment stage. It's like walking through mud or quicksand. Here's the thing. You're hesitant because you think no one cares, when in fact, that's probably just a little voice in the back of your mind saying, why bother, right? You think it's a waste of time, so you're not even going to talk, you're not even going to say anything, right? So do this instead, okay? Start sharing your own story with a trusted friend, or the real story, you want to start sharing your real story with that trusted friend. Talk about it, okay? The story that made Sarah authentically her and the person she is today, talk about it. She started sharing bits and pieces with a community where she knew no one. Why? Because she didn't want to be judged by anyone in reality. But here's the thing. Everyone, there's at least one person that's willing to listen. This is where Sarah felt the sense that she was working so hard in her life, her career, but she was nowhere near her goals that truly fulfilled her in life. This is where Sarah felt the sense that she was working so hard in her life, so hard in her career, but she was nowhere near the goals that she wanted to be, where she wanted to be, and she didn't feel fulfilled in her life. Something was missing. Whatever that looks like, whatever those goals look like, because your goals and my goals are completely different. Let's be honest. Here's the game changer. You're probably going to say, yeah. But here's the truth. Those goals need to be reassessed and reevaluated each time. And you need to focus on the small wins every single time. That's the piece that a lot of people miss out on. Without celebration, without reassessing where you are at with your goals, you can't go beyond the empowerment stage. Bottom line, imagine this. You no longer compare yourself to others. You are on the verge of taking full ownership of your growth, of your own growth, right? Your own personal growth journey. You are no longer keeping wins to yourself. You're sharing your true, authentic self in order to become the empowered version of you. So think about what stage you are in. Are you in the awareness stage? Are you in the mindset shift stage? Are you in the action stage? Or are you in the empowerment stage? Where are you stuck in your personal growth journey? Something is holding you back from becoming the best version of you.